My family's been through so much. My heart aches for the losses that he had. And yet I must treasure and honor him. And I want each and every one of you to as well. Landon James was precious to his sisters and I from the moment I knew I was expecting. And as Nora said, I chose to keep that a surprise, because how often in life, no matter what the outcome, is the surprise going to be the most glorious thing? And I'll tell you, man, was I shocked. I mean, he was a boy. He was so big. I couldn't have asked for a more beautiful boy. We marveled at his looks at every stage. Big blue eyes. He had central heterochromia, which is like where you have different colors in your eyes, and his had like a golden center ring. Some people mistook his eyes for being green, but they were truly blue. He had perfectly formed eyebrows. Absolutely gorgeous, dark lashes that framed those eyes. And his cheeks. To kiss those cheeks was to know love. We spent the last week of his life soaking it in, wanting to capture it, capture his essence. It wasn't just his looks. My sweet, sweet Landon had a heart of gold and was always taking care of and helping others. He often noticed what others did not, helping people in every way possible. Usually when he wasn't picking on me at that. It was really all love, whether he was lending a hand or offering support or presence, volunteering or taking care of me. It was obvious that his love was motivation. I was always touched and proud that he never shied away from showing me affection in public. Gosh, I felt like the luckiest mom to have him next to me, whether it was nudges or him leaning in for a hug. You could just as easily see him patiently being there for someone or planning his next project for the future. And boy, we heard his plans. Gosh, he had many. Landon shared a special bond with my dad, his grandpa Jim. Landon and my dad had tons of fun exploring, hunting, going to auctions, going out to eat, working on the farm, and mostly getting into trouble. You could guarantee the stories they came back with were larger than life. And it was amazing because as time went on, those stories got even larger. The exception was when Grandpa was getting him out of trouble. Mysteriously, I didn't hear about those until just more recently. The first year in my new home, he decided it was his job to put my lawn tractor to use. Like, he beat the crap out of that thing. The most memorable story with that is the time that he mysteriously got that tractor stuck in a mud puddle. We hadn't seen rain in weeks. It was the middle of summer. And he swore up and down he had not been mud bogging. And that story he stuck to that Like, he stuck to it, even though there were hundreds of tracks going through the lawn. Apparently, he did that many times that summer. It's no mystery that poor lawn tractor did not make it this last summer. But I treasure that. I treasure every moment of that. I treasure hearing about Grandpa getting those calls. He knew he could trust you to come. I received a sweet email from one of Landon's teachers while we were in the hospital. Landon wasn't a strong writer. He struggled with school. So much of our family's struggles really impacted him. And he just kept fighting and trying. And I was so proud of him. I am so proud of him. While he may not have been the strongest writer, he wrote with his voice, like you can hear it. I'm going to read 2 of them, and then I'll wrap this up. Memoir about me. It was a cloudy day, and I had woken up that day. It was a big day because there was an auction up in Fremont. My grandpa picked me up in his 2017 Victory Red Chevy LTZ 2500, and we went on our way. The energy was high. The previous day we checked out what was there. When we arrived, I got my number and my donut and waited. The first ring started at 8 a.m. sharp, starting at the hay wagons. There were tools, building materials, and parts on it. The auctioneer started bidding things off left and right, some wheel weights, a socket set, and a box of junk, but nothing I was interested in. A while later, they started on the equipment. There was a Massey Ferguson dozer, a forklift, and a few lawn tractors. I was interested in the dozer, but it went too high, and the forklift broke, so I ended up not buying it. At the end of the day, we ended up with some chains and some tools. My grandpa and I had a ton of fun and a lot of great memories. I'll never forget this day, thanks to my grandpa. The second one that was sent was called A Conversation That Shaped Me. Every summer, I work for my grandpa on his small farm. On the farm, we cut, chop, and produce hay. The farm requires equipment repair, chopping of the grass, baling, and stacking hay. One day, I was working on the baler, replacing a tire, greasing and fixing the PTO. The rich smell of manure, he said chucking, but I know he meant clucking. The clucking of the chickens. But he could have been shucking them, I don't know. And the roar of the highway were all too familiar. That day I was having trouble fixing the baler. I needed help taking off the PTO shaft, and it would just not come off. I kept trying and trying, using almost every tool in the box, and at one point, I used a tractor to tug on the PTO, but nothing worked. I was standing there sweating and about to give up when I saw my grandpa walking toward me with a soda in hand. My grandpa, a tall guy riddled with scars and stories, pulled up a chair and calmly said, "Having trouble?" I took a deep breath and calmly said, Yeah, I can't get the PTO off. It must be stuck. My grandpa, a man who worked in farming for most of his life, gave a confused look and said, I got that off just this morning. There's no way it's stuck. I asked, how did you get the PTO? Because I've been working on this for way too long. My grandpa took a deep sigh and stood up and said, as he was walking over, he stands up, and as he's walking over, he inspects the tractor, an old, worn 3300 series Massey Ferguson that's powered the farm for years. As he reaches the PTO, he looks down and immediately finds the problem. He bends down and grabs the PTO, and with a swift motion, pulls it off. As I'm watching this, I'm standing there in disbelief, thinking, how did he do this? I've been working on this for so long, and he did it just like that. While I'm standing there, my grandpa notices and asks, do you want to know how I did it? I snapped out of what I was thinking and said, yes. My grandpa then shows me how. He explained the process in a quick fashion. This mattered to me because I learned that things may be easier than they seem. And there's always another way. I wish I could tell you so much more about Landon. I know his sisters and brothers did a beautiful job. They're all beautiful people. We were so proud of Landon in so many ways. He did love big. And we love big too. We want more people to take on that big love every day. It doesn't have to be showy. It doesn't have to be strong in those strong senses. It's just being there for others and showing others that you care in those quiet moments. Thank you.